Hi everyone, it's me Jessica from Node and Wish with another wax sealing video. Today I will be sharing with you more wax sealing tips and tricks, and I will be answering 9 frequently asked questions about wax sealing. From how do I clean my wax sealing spoon to can I send wax sealed envelopes in the mail? Just a quick note, all the wax seal stamps used in this video were designed by myself and my sister. You can find these wax seal stamps and other beautifully designed stationery items at our shop at noteandwish.com. We are based in the UK and ship worldwide. Okay, fantastic. On to the first question. How do I clean my wax sealing spoons? When a spoon is still hot and the wax is still melted, use a paper towel to wipe away the wax. Be careful, the spoon is going to be quite hot. If you have quite a lot of wax left over, like in this case, you can pour the wax out first. And then just keep it and remelt it when you want to use it again. And as before, just use a piece of tissue to wipe away the wax. How do I highlight my wax seals? I have a blog post dedicated to this question. I'll link it down in the description box below, but I'll quickly go through it as well. So there are numerous pens that you can use. I love to use this pen. So this is the Sakura Pen Touch and Go. This is the pen that I always use to highlight my wax seals. You can also use a gold Sharpie. You can use like a gold metallic pen. And I sometimes use, I sometimes use gold eyeshadow. And I find that this works surprisingly well too. You can use any sort of gold powder, but you might need to test it beforehand to see if that gold powder will last or not. So I'll show you the Sakura Pen Touch and Go and talk to you a bit why I enjoy using that pen. So with this pen you have to be quite careful actually. Make sure you don't pump too much ink out because then it might flood the design. So there you have it. So you can see it has a really nice metallic gold shine. Something else I like to use is gold eyeshadow. So I just get a little bit on my finger here, and I'll just rub it on here. So this doesn't give like the most cleanest, like it can get quite messy, this way of applying the gold highlight, but it's actually really like quick and easy way to do this. I also like to add gold here as well. I think it just looks nice. So as you can see, this is quite a messy way of applying the gold highlight, but it does give a really nice end result. And surprisingly enough, the powder the gold eyeshadow actually does stay on. So it has good lasting power, surprisingly. Let me show you some results of other pens. So this is this gold metallic pen. So you can see that there is some shine. It does actually have quite a nice effect, but it's definitely not as shiny as the gold Sakura Pen Touch and Go. And this is the gold Sharpie, and this produces the most dullest result. There's hardly any shine here. You can definitely see the gold color, but you can't really compare it to this one, right? So this one has definitely the best gold shine. Yeah, so I really like this effect here. It looks cool. How to prevent bubbles from forming in your wax. Bubbles like these form if your wax is too hot. So when you're melting your wax and you notice that the wax is bubbling, then this is a sign that your wax is too hot and that you have overheated your wax. If this has happened, take the spoon off the heat or move the spoon further away from the flame and let it cool for a little bit first before you pour it and use it. To make wax seals in advance, you need to use a non-stick surface such as like a stone surface like this marble coaster here, or perhaps baking sheet paper like this. And you need to pour the wax on these non-stick surfaces. A little tip, if you are planning to make a lot of wax seals in advance, then I suggest to cool your wax seal stamp each time before you use it. To do this, you could use an ice bag, or you could also put the wax seal stamp in a cup of cold water. That would also work too. A cold sealing stamp means that the wax will cool down quicker, therefore reducing the time you need to make wax seals. Okay, so you've prepared the wax seals in advance and now you want to use it. To use it, you can either use some double-sided tape. I also like to use these glue dots here. So I find these glue dots are really quite good for crafting. You can also use some Yoo-hoo. So I like to use this too. So it can get a little bit messy. The recommendations that I just gave to you are mainly suitable for crafting purposes. I definitely would not use glue dots or double-sided tape to stick wax seals for use in the mail. However, I have used Yoo-hoo glue to affix a wax seal on an envelope, and the recipient did receive the wax seal still intact. However, this was in the UK, and it really does depend on how your country handles your mail. I have heard, however, good things about this 3M circular sticker with adhesive backings. I know people have used this to stick wax seals intended for the mail, and they had good results with it. So I would recommend to use this. However, I personally have not used it before. How to open wax sealed envelopes. There is no special way to open an envelope. Nowadays, the wax that is used is very flexible, so you do not need to break the wax seal to open a letter. But what I like to do is I try to keep the wax seal intact. So this is a letter that I received, and I really like this wax seal. And when I opened it, I tried to keep the wax seal as it is. I'll try and show you what I mean. When I open it, I try to keep it intact, but sometimes it can be a bit difficult to do so if the wax is quite like that. Yeah. And if I like the wax seal, I might just take it off. And I could perhaps reuse it, or I could just leave it like this. It depends what you want to do. Can I send wax seals through the mail? If you want to send wax seals through the mail, make sure that you're using a flexible sealing wax and not a traditional one. Traditional sealing wax are designed to be brittle and cannot withstand the rough handling during the mailing process. Personally, I have sent mail within the UK and to Germany with a wax seal stamp on it, and the recipient has received a letter with the wax seals intact. I've also received letters from Hong Kong and Malaysia. I know for sure you can definitely send letters with the wax seals within the UK. However, I think this really does depend on the country and how they handle their mail. But in general, it should be okay. Hi there. So I want to quickly add that yes, it should be okay. I asked this question a couple of days ago.
in our stories, and our wonderful followers replied and mostly said yes, it should be okay in their country too. However, there are a couple of things to bear in mind. Firstly, it might cost a little bit more because your letter would be handled differently. And for example, in the US, you will need to pay an extra fee for hand cancelling. So you should check this with your post office. Secondly, if you have a really thick, chunky envelope, and then you add a wax seal stamp on top, your envelope might be too thick now to be considered as a letter. For example, in the UK, you'll need to pay a large letter price rather than a letter price. And lastly, yes, so I said that in general, yes, it should be okay. However, it might be the case that your wax seal stamp might get scraped off. Sadly, that's quite sad, yeah, might get completely scraped off, might just get damaged on the way, and there is no guarantee that it will arrive perfectly intact. And if you really want to protect your wax seal envelope, then the best thing to do would be to put it in another envelope just to protect it. Okay, that's it.
How to make marble wax seals. There are many different ways to make marble seals, and I am in the process of editing a video dedicated to this topic, but the general idea is to decide on what type of colours you would like to use. Would you like complementing colours, or colours of the same shade, or contrasting colours? And then you need to decide on how mixed do you want the swirls to be. So you melt the desired colours in your wax melting spoon, and once the wax is melted, you mix the wax as usual. You then pour the wax. So this is the fun part. You can experiment with different type of pouring techniques. So you can do a swirl, you can do like an S shape, or a figure of 8 shape. There are many different types of techniques that you could use, and I will go into more details in my next video. How to make perfectly circular wax seals. This is actually one of my most frequently asked questions, and I have already published a video about this. You can find a link in the description box below. The main idea is that when you pour the wax, you need to make that as circular as possible. And this is the trick to create circular wax seals. If you want more details, please head over and have a watch of that video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. For more wax sealing and washi tape inspiration, please head over to our Instagram account. If there are any other questions that we didn't cover here, please comment and let us know, and we can make a part 2 video. Thank you so much again, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye bye.